Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to take you on a journey deep into the mysterious yet beautiful psychology of women. A journey that every man needs to take at least once in his life if he ever wants to truly understand, connect with, and love a woman the right way. Because here's the truth. Women are not complicated. They are complex. And the difference is everything. A complicated thing confuses you. A complex thing fascinates you. And once you understand the psychology behind how women think, feel, and love, you'll realize that what seems unpredictable is actually beautifully patterned. So in this video, I'm going to share 3 powerful psychology facts every man must know about women. Facts that will change how you see relationships, how you communicate, and how you love. A woman's emotions are her first language. Long before she says anything, she feels. Before she explains, she experiences. Her emotions are not random. They are her body's way of speaking truth in a world that often demands silence. You see, men are usually conditioned to think first and feel later, to analyze before they empathize. Women, on the other hand, experience the world through emotional perception, a sense that goes beyond logic. It's not about being too sensitive. It's about being deeply aware. When a woman speaks, every word she says carries layers: emotion, memory, fear, hope, and intuition. To the untrained ear, it might sound dramatic or confusing, but to a man who listens beyond the surface, who listens not just with his mind but with his awareness, it all makes perfect sense. Her tone, her pauses, her choice of words, they are the language of feeling. When she says, "I'm fine," but her tone drops, her eyes shift, her body stiffens, she's not fine. She's protecting herself. She's hoping you'll hear what she's not saying. Most men make the mistake of listening to women like they're solving a problem. They jump in to fix, to explain, to defend. But women don't always need solutions. They need understanding. They don't need you to fix the emotion. They need you to feel it with them. That's the kind of connection that builds trust. Because when a woman senses that you truly hear her, not just her words but her heart, she relaxes. Her walls fall. She feels safe. Psychologically speaking, emotion is not weakness, it's wisdom. Women are neurologically wired with more active mirror neurons than men, the part of the brain responsible for empathy. That's why she feels what others feel, why she can sense tension in a room without anyone saying a word. Her intuition isn't magic, it's heightened emotional intelligence. But when a man dismisses this emotional sensitivity as irrational, he's not just rejecting her feelings, he's rejecting the deepest part of her identity. Here's the truth most men overlook. Emotional validation is more powerful than logical reasoning in a woman's mind. When she feels emotionally safe, her nervous system calms, her voice softens, her body relaxes, and she begins to trust. But when she feels misunderstood or ignored, her brain interprets it as emotional danger. That's when she withdraws, becomes quiet or defensive, not because she's trying to punish you, but because her mind and body are protecting her from pain. So if you want to connect with a woman, you must learn to listen differently. Don't rush to respond. Don't try to prove a point. Just be present. Presence is the deepest form of communication. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Just, "I'm here." In that moment, you're not fixing her problem. You're healing her trust. And trust is the foundation of every lasting connection. The truth is, a woman doesn't remember every word you say, but she will always remember how you made her feel. She will remember the tone, the patience, the gentleness, the safety, because her emotions are her memory. And when a man learns to speak her emotional language, he stops being just another voice in her life. He becomes a presence she can't forget. So don't fear her emotions. Learn to read them. Don't silence her feelings. Understand them. Because emotions are not signs of weakness. They are signs of truth. And when you understand a woman's truth, you understand the heart of humanity itself. A woman's mind is not built for competition, it's wired for connection. From birth, the female brain is shaped by a deep biological and emotional drive to bond, to nurture, and to create harmony. It's not weakness. It's nature's way of ensuring survival through unity. Men often misunderstand this, interpreting her need for closeness as dependency, when in reality, it's her greatest strength. The way a woman connects is not through control or dominance, but through empathy, emotional presence, and shared understanding. She's not looking to compete with you, she's looking to feel safe with you. Science shows that women produce higher levels of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. This is why they tend to form emotional attachments more deeply and remember the emotional tone of an interaction more vividly than men. When a man raises his voice or becomes dismissive, it's not just the words she recalls. It's the feeling of disconnection that lingers. She's designed to thrive in emotional safety. When that safety is broken, she retreats, not because she's being difficult, but because her system is trying to protect itself. Connection to her is not a luxury, it's oxygen. This is where many relationships crumble. A man who seeks dominance, who turns every disagreement into a battle of egos, unknowingly threatens her sense of emotional security. To her, that's not love, it's danger. Because love in her world is not about winning, it's about belonging. She doesn't want to fight you, she wants to feel you. She wants to know that behind the masculine confidence lies a man capable of emotional understanding. When you speak, she listens not just to your words, but to your tone, your consistency, your energy. Every man says, "I love you," but the woman's mind is asking silently, "Do I feel safe loving you back?" What many men fail to realize is that when a woman pulls away, it's often not because she's lost interest. It's because she feels unseen. A woman cannot open her heart to a man who constantly invalidates her emotions or treats her vulnerability as weakness. The more you try to prove your superiority, the less she feels connected. But the moment you choose empathy over ego, you create something extraordinary: trust. And trust, once earned, becomes her deepest form of loyalty. A woman's mind doesn't crave power, it craves peace. She doesn't need you to conquer her. She needs you to understand her. She will give her love fully, but only when she feels emotionally secure. That's why the strongest men are not those who dominate their partners. They are the ones who create emotional safety. They understand that strength without compassion is emptiness, and control without connection is isolation. When a man realizes that connection is not weakness, but the highest form of emotional intelligence, everything changes. He stops seeing her emotions as interruptions and starts seeing them as invitations to grow, to communicate, to love better. Because in the end, a woman doesn't fall in love with a man who wins every argument. She falls in love with a man who makes her feel like she never has to fight to be understood. A woman's body speaks before she ever opens her mouth. It's her subconscious translator, expressing what her mind and heart are too guarded, or too graceful to say aloud. Every gesture, every movement, every shift in posture carries a story. You can learn more about how a woman feels by observing her body language than by asking 100 questions she doesn't feel safe enough to answer. The body never lies. And in a woman, it's the most honest reflection of her inner world. When she feels safe, her body opens. She leans toward you, her eyes soften, her tone becomes melodic. But when she feels tension or discomfort, she closes off. Her arms fold, her shoulders tighten, her breathing becomes shallow. These aren't conscious choices. They're the body's natural defense mechanisms, a physical manifestation of the mind's emotional boundaries. You see, for women, safety isn't just physical, it's emotional. Her body relaxes only when her mind feels understood. And that's something many men overlook. Men often misinterpret these cues. They see withdrawal as rejection, silence as disinterest, or hesitation as indecision. But in truth, these are expressions of emotional weather, signals of how or safe unsafe she feels in your presence. When she's quiet, it's not always because she has nothing to say. Sometimes it's because she's measuring your energy. She's asking herself subconsciously, can I trust him with my truth? Can I be seen without being judged? Her body will answer those questions before her words ever do. Psychologically, this is rooted in how the female nervous system responds to connection. When she feels emotionally validated, her parasympathetic nervous system activates, the system responsible for calmness, openness, and affection. That's why she becomes warmer, more expressive, even physically affectionate when she feels safe. But when she senses threat or emotional distance, her sympathetic system takes over, her fight, flight, or freeze mode. She withdraws, her body changes, her body becomes still. It's not manipulation, it's survival. The key to understanding this is presence. Presence is the bridge between her mind and her body. When you're truly present with a woman, when you look at her and listen without interrupting, when you hold eye contact, not to control but to connect, her body senses it. She can feel the difference between attention and awareness. One is momentary, the other is grounding. Attention flatters her ego, but awareness nourishes her soul. And here's where so many men lose their connection without realizing it. They chase physical closeness without first creating emotional safety. But the truth is, a woman's body doesn't surrender to pressure. It surrenders to peace. When she feels emotionally understood, her physical openness follows naturally. When she feels emotionally unseen, her body will subconsciously protect her, even from a man she desires. That's why real attraction is not built through seduction. It's built through security. Understanding her body language requires emotional maturity. You must train yourself to see beyond movement and into meaning. If she pulls away, don't chase, create space. If she's quiet, don't demand words, alter safety. The feminine body is not a mystery to solve. It's a mirror reflecting the energy you bring into the room. When you show patience, she softens. When you show aggression, she shields. Her body is always communicating, but it will only reveal its truth to a man who's calm enough to listen. The most powerful connection between a man and a woman doesn't happen through touch. It happens through awareness. When your energy is grounded, when your presence is calm, when your intention is pure, her body senses it. That's when she relaxes. That's when she lets you in, not just into her space, but into her heart. So if you truly want to understand women, stop focusing on what they say and start observing what they show. Her eyes will tell you when she feels seen. Her voice will tell you when she feels safe. Her body will tell you when she feels loved, because her body is not a puzzle. It's poetry. It's a living reflection of trust, emotion, and connection. And when you learn to read that poetry, not with your eyes, but with your awareness, you'll realize something profound. Women don't open up to men who demand it. They open up to men who earn it. And that is the truth every man must understand. The body of a woman does not respond to force. It responds to presence. It opens not to dominance, but to understanding. The moment you master that, you don't just attract a woman. You awaken her trust, her softness, and her heart.